Oh, back here first thing this morning. We're going to do a little maintenance on this thing. The previous person broke one of the grease lines off for the magnet belt. I don't have one of those adapters, so we're just going to screw a grease fitting in there so that can be greased. And we're going to go over everything and check and see how fluids are, and hopefully Charlie will be here soon. We can look at that up there and look at the blow bars and see what they look like as far as wear. Probably go ahead and drive this thing over there. It's got a coolant leak on the engine. We got to look at that. I think it's a hose somewhere in there, but it was too hot yesterday to reach in there, see what was going on. So yeah, always something, but hopefully we should get everything going here pretty soon. Already having to work on it. I feel like there's some new stuff right there, like a turbo. It's got a new flappy cap on it. The flappy cap, that's the most important. Anyway, something's leaking coolant in there, and it was dripping down yesterday, and you could smell it, and there's none in the radiator that I can see. So we're going to take this panel off and see if we can't locate what is dripping. Hopefully it's that little blue hose right there. That's where it looks like it was coming from. We'll see. Well, the man that knows what's going on is here.
I don't know, there's a lot of buttons in the system.
All I know is you gotta let that make its noise for a while, and then you get to hold it for a while.
It'll come up.
Yep.
And then it'll tell you it's good to start.
It's good to go. Now you got to hold it for like another 10 seconds. We'll get her moved over there. We're going to get it walked over there and set on the pad, and then go ahead and unfold the conveyor belts here, get everything set up. It didn't have the locking pin in. All right, so we got the crusher set up. Charlie was more than nice enough to come up here.
I was a little late. I had to change you all my shirt before.
We got this set up. I don't know how well it's going to crush. They were in a rush to get it here, and the blow bars need to be changed on it. They are well wore out. So we're going to get everything set up and see what it does do. I do have two right there, and they'll probably come Monday and put some new ones in it, but we'll see what it does. We'll get the stacker brought over here and I guess run it a little bit today and see what happens. I don't think it's gonna do a huge amount with as wore out as those bars are in there. There ain't a whole lot left. We'll probably start right there and just angle it right here. All right, we're gonna back the stacker up here to the crusher, get it somewhere in that area right there. The purpose of the stacker here is to not have to transfer it with the loader or anything, because as you crush, that would be about a 10-foot tall pile, and then you know you've stacked all you can stack right there without moving it. So with this right here, it'll go and stack it over there into a pile, and you'll just have to move it once the pile gets, you know, 30 feet tall, 40 foot tall, whatever. All right, well, let's back this up here and get it lined up. We'll fire the crusher back up and put a little material through it. First scoop going in. I can already see right now I need to build my platform a little bit taller. And a little bit longer. I'll build this pad about a foot taller. That way I can kind of see a little bit better what's going on. And we're crushing. I need to get back in there and feed some more stuff into it. I'll let Robert get a video real quick. check on things. Need to come pull this down. All right, I'm gonna let Robert load a few scoops while I go down here and we're gonna check on everything. Charlie's keeping an eye on it. We actually closed it up a little bit. It's feeding a little slower, but we kept jamming up. Feed this a little bit, walk around here and check on everything. We've been laying some of that material over. We closed it up a little bit to get a little bit smaller product going into the recirc. We kept jamming up over here. Getting a nice pile now. Let's check the scales and see where we're at. We had 60 tons when we started with, and then we had to reset everything when we re-went. So let's see what we're at now. 293 tons. So that's about 350 tons right there in that pile. The scales are right there. As it goes over, it weighs it right there, puts it into that scale, or the computer right there. Keeps you a daily tally of how much is going through there. Keep on keeping on. This thing really should do about twice as fast as what we're doing, but we're playing it safe. It took an hour to get that thing unjammed. this thing dialed in. We had a few things to get adjusted on it to get into rhythm. There was a bent guard on one of the belts, which caused a rock to get under it and jam it up. And we spent the last hour getting that uncleaned and the guard adjusted. It's just, you got to get all the previous people's mess out of it. So I could probably load as fast as the 220 will, but I'm playing it safe because I don't want to pick up rocks for the next hour off of a conveyor belt from overloading it. So we're going to do the slow and steady wins the race. Robert's going to take the 330 and lay that pile right there over here so that I can feed it. So I'm using the 220 to feed because it's got a little bit of a smaller bucket on it, plus it has the thumb on it, so if I come across a large piece of rebar, I can pinch that and pull that out of there. Keep that from going in there. Charlie must have opened that up some, letting the fines out. Scooping up. So what happened last time was we overloaded the recirc belt right there and it stopped. That wasn't fun. There's a steady stream of material coming off though. I like that. That's a big piece. We might need to break that up. We're going to lay that to the side for right now. No need to jam it up. So I kind of rotate between both of these piles here. That stuff's pretty clean. This stuff has got a lot more dirt in it, but it's screening that out, throwing that out to the side. That way we kind of keep a little bit better uniform product. thing is eating it though. Oh, well, Charlie. Oh God. You got here at 9 at 6 and we've crushed 463 tons.
We've had a few.
We've say that again.
We've had a few malfunctions.
We've had a few malfunctions. We're just getting the previous customer out of it. And one thing we're going to do is fix that guard to the recirc, because I'm tired of pulling rocks out of that thing because it jams up. Yeah.
So you get it running like you want it to run.
We about got it dialed in other than that. And somebody just needs to be there to walk from there to the other side, make sure there's no metal hung up, make sure that's flowing.
Yep.
What?
The new number.
You're still wrong. I mean, I trust the scale.
Yeah, but
Did you get your math right now? So you measured out 489 and the scale says 463, so we're going to go with the scale. I don't know. Somewhere in between.
Closer.
I think we're pretty close.
Yeah.
It's a big pile. Considering maybe 2.5 hours of crushing.
Of actual
Crushing.
It's 96%.
What's that?
accuracy.
96%.
I think that's close enough.
I think that's pretty good for what we're doing here. Alrighty. Charlie, it's been fun. I know you're ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. You want to spend the night? We'll do it again tomorrow.
I got some paperwork I gotta do before.
Okay, well, email it to me. I'll work on it tonight. It's just plugging numbers, right? You'll either make a lot of money or not get the job.
No, it's not that.
Oh, okay.
What we've treated, we take a map and then you do your. I'd have to.
I trust you. Sounds
I got
complicated.
the map in my truck. I'll show you.
All right. All right, peoples. We will catch you next time. All right, so we came back over here Sunday about lunchtime, and we got the bracket put back on the crusher conveyor over there. I think that was causing our big problems yesterday. It was broke when it got here, and we took it off, heated it up with the torch, got it bent back straight. And yeah, that's how much rebar come out of 463 tons right there. So we're getting this thing fueled up, and we're going to try crushing for a couple hours today and see if we get everything ready for tomorrow. All right, walked the stacker over a little bit. My pile was getting a little bit far that way, and we got our guard back on here. We're going to get that conveyor moved over and give it a test run, see what it does. All right, here we go. First bucket full. I got Robert watching the recirculation conveyor over there. We're just going to take it easy today. I'm going to have Mr. Charlie there with all his expertise, information, and I assume just go slow and steady. And get done what we can get done. We're gonna run here a little bit. He's gonna stand down there and just keep an eye on everything. Make sure our new guard right there is working like it should. Ah, good catch, Chris. Those little pieces of metal like that, man, they get in there and they just jam up the magnet conveyor or the recirculation thing if it doesn't get picked up if it's aluminum. which is weird. Yesterday it jammed up and I was seeing plenty of rocks come over the recert there, but I don't know, something got in there. There's a lot of this like 1-inch plastic water pipe, I guess, that was in the concrete, and obviously the magnet doesn't pull it out, and it doesn't go through the screen because it's so big. Therefore it just kind of has to go around and go around until it gets broke up enough, and it normally gets jammed up somewhere. You got to pull it out. Stuff right here was a little wet when I stacked it up, so therefore I got to kind of go through it a little bit, mix a little mud, dry, all that fun stuff. Break that up one time just for safety's sake. Come on, break. Normally they break. There we go. There we go. Now we got two. I'm just going to have somebody next week just to be on the ground, just watching conveyor belts the whole time. It's going to suck, but it's the only way to kind of keep, as gnarly as this stuff is, from having so many shutdowns. Because as you can tell, I can only see so much from right here. Alright, finishing out today here. We just worked for about an hour and a half or so. I'm going to pull this pile of metal out of the way. Look at all that. Alright, well, we're going to clean the crusher out and call it a day here. Glad we got everything put back together and running smoothly. Alright, well, good afternoon here for the little bit of time we spent here. We got 236 tons crushed. Got our wiper back over here fixed. That right there was completely ripped off and all mangled up in there, but we took that off and got that straightened up. So yeah, yesterday we had to unload all that by hand. All that by hand. That's a lot of little pieces, one rock at the time. So I think we got it dialed in right now. So pile of concrete is growing. Finally making progress.